Winds have changed, rocking and rolling across central and eastern Kentucky. We've got a 30-degree temperature drop in progress, and oh yeah, it's going to snow.
Police make an arrest in Lexington's latest murder. The victim was a father with a 3-year-old daughter. Now at 4, we talk to a friend of the victim who's struggling to deal with his death. And the University of Kentucky taking steps today to protect students after 3 confirmed cases of mumps. Find out how they hope to stop the spread.
WKYT News starts now with First Alert Weather.
Good afternoon, I'm Jennifer Palumbo. We're going from temperatures in the 60s to snow all in one day, not to mention heavy rain in parts of the Bluegrass State. Here's a live look at downtown Lexington, where it's in the upper 40s right now. It's a WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day. Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey is tracking the threat on First Alert Defender. And Chris, no rain in downtown Lexington, but it's very windy.
Yeah, it's getting ready to start raining again across the Lexington area. We've had winds greater than 40 miles per hour into much of the region. Earlier, 60 degrees, but the wind's taking center stage right now. To really illustrate that, just look at this sky cam. It's on our roof here on Winchester Road, looking out at Hamburg Pavilion. Yeah, you need the Dramamine just to look at a sky cam here because it is bouncing around on the roof. Down to 46 now. Winds gusting to 31 miles an hour. A few hours ago, we hit 40 here at the station. Feels like it is 38, and those winds are going to continue to usher in much, much colder air. Here is our storm system that is cranking up, heading toward the Covington, Cincinnati area. Out ahead of it, temperatures in the 60s. Behind it, temperatures in the 30s. Rain and snow into parts of western Kentucky, west of that I-65 corridor. Out ahead of it, we're seeing on your Defender radar network a little broken band of some showers and thunderstorms working across eastern Kentucky. Lexington Metro, we've had better than an inch of rain so far in many areas. We've got a little more rain coming in over the next few hours that will change to snow. Starting to see those snows flying into western Kentucky. Even though radars are going to try to color code a lot of the precipitation as rain, chances are it's going to be in the form of some snow. You want to see a temperature contrast near 60 right now. Prestonsburg, Ashland, 46 Lexington, 38 into Fort Knox, upper 30s pivoting in here very quickly. I'm talking about a coating to maybe an inch or two into much of central and eastern Kentucky late tonight and through the day tomorrow. Jennifer, this is going to be kind of what I call a March snow, where a lot of it sticks to the rooftops, the grassy surfaces, but not so much the roads. When I come back in a little bit, we're going to walk you through when the snow starts where you live with the hour-by-hour forecast in 15 minutes.
We'll see you then, Chris. Severe storms in the Deep South are blamed for 3 deaths, 2 in Louisiana and 1 in Mississippi. Florida's governor says an apparent tornado significantly damaged nearly 90 homes in the Pensacola area, injuring 3 people. The governor toured the affected areas this morning. 2 tornadoes hit Louisiana late yesterday. 1 damaged 200 homes. Another, 30 people were hurt when another hit an RV park in Convent. In the Gulf Coast region, again, at least 3 deaths are blamed on the storms. One day after the funeral for Lexington's latest murder victim, police make an arrest. They arrested Clarence Taylor about 12:30 this morning. He's charged in Friday's deadly shooting outside the Camelot East Strip Club on Richmond Road, and he was arraigned in Fayette District Court this afternoon. WKYT's Mark Barber tells us how the victim is being remembered in our top story at 4.
When LaRoz Mitchell's friends said their final goodbye during his funeral yesterday, they hoped police would catch his killer soon. Officers made an arrest early this morning, but his friends say the arrest only makes Mitchell's death more painful for them because they say they also know the man accused of killing him.
When I found out who it was, it makes it that much worse because LaRoz knew him, you know, so to know your killer is that much worse.
Police say 2 distinguishing characteristics help them identify 24-year-old Clarence Taylor as the murder suspect. According to an arrest warrant, the 24-year-old shot Mitchell after they started fighting outside Camelot East on Richmond Road early Friday morning.
He had so much potential that was taken, you know what I mean? He could have been so many things and it just got robbed. And it's just not fair.
As Casey Heisel remembers her close friend, she holds on to her little girl tightly, thinking about Mitchell's 3-year-old daughter.
A girl needs a dad. A girl really needs a dad. And he was a great dad. He loved that girl.
We asked Taylor if he wanted to talk about the case from the Fayette County Detention Center, but he did not. In Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
Police tell us Mitchell was shot in the chest and the leg. Investigators still don't know why he was killed. We're learning more this afternoon about the evidence against a man accused in a murder-for-hire plot in southern Kentucky. The preliminary hearing is today for Jordan Nicholas. He's charged with solicitation to commit murder. Police in Pulaski County say Nicholas tried to hire someone to murder a man who he thought was an informant, but that person turned out to be an undercover officer. We'll have the update from court on WKYT News at 4:30. And our reporters are working on a number of other stories for WKYT starting at 4:30. Amber Philpott joins us from the newsroom with a look at some more of the news in progress. Good afternoon, Amber.
Good afternoon to you, Jennifer. Disciplinary hearings against 5 suspended police officers has resumed this afternoon in Paris. During an 8-hour hearing Monday, the police chief outlined his case for firing the officers. He showed hours of video footage showing them hanging out in the dispatch center instead of out on patrol. But their lawyer calls it a case of retaliation. The officers will have a chance to make their case in this afternoon's hearing. We'll take a closer look at that case coming up for you in a report on WKYT News at 5. An effort to prevent mumps is underway at the University of Kentucky. UK students were able to get vaccinated against the mumps. There have been 3 confirmed cases on campus. While the vaccine does not prevent all cases, it can help lessen some symptoms.
Even though mumps is not a life-threatening disease, it is still very contagious, and there are people out there that are immunocompromised, and it could be deadly to them.
The clinic started at 1 today in the University Health Services building. The vaccine is being offered for free. We'll have reaction from students ahead on WKYT News at 5. The chairman of Dance Blue, a 24-hour event on campus this weekend, is also asking anyone with mumps-like symptoms or those that have been around people showing symptoms not to attend this weekend's dance marathon. That is a look at just some of the news in progress. Jennifer, back to you.
Thanks, Amber. Now to some stories making headlines across the nation at 4. A deadly shootout in Colorado. Investigators say 3 sheriff's deputies were shot as they served an eviction notice. 1 deputy and the attacker are dead. It happened at a home in the town of Bailey. That's about 45 miles southwest of Denver. The Colorado Bureau of Investigation says the shooter fired at the deputies with a rifle, killing 1 deputy. Another has life-threatening injuries, and the third is expected to survive. It's not clear if deputies killed the shooter. Nevada has long been considered the Wild West of politics. Ahead of the state's GOP presidential caucuses, the smart money was on Donald Trump, and the smart money paid off. Reed Binion explains.
Now we're winning the country.
Donald Trump rode to victory in the Nevada caucuses Tuesday.
We won with young, we won with old, we won with highly educated, we won with poorly educated. I love the poorly educated.
But with Trump highly favored even before the results started coming in, the real fight was between Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio for second place. Cruz spinning his showing in Nevada as progress.
We are one step closer to turning the pages on the failures of the Obama-Clinton disaster.
Rubio touting his establishment candidate identity as critical for a general election win.
I'm a conservative that can unite this party.
As the Republicans watched the Nevada returns come in, Democrats hit them on the issue of race at CNN's South Carolina town hall.
This birther issue, which we heard from Donald Trump and others, a racist effort to try to delegitimize the President of the United States.
Bernie Sanders courting the minority vote ahead of the state's Saturday primary and hitting rival Hillary Clinton over her paid speeches to Wall Street, demanding that she release the transcripts. Clinton saying she would on one condition.
Sure, if everybody does it, and that includes the Republicans. Why is there one standard for me and not for everybody else?
I'm Reed Binion reporting.
Secretary of State Clinton and her final thought.
Selfies are all over Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Coming up in WKYT Money Watch, how those selfies could also help prevent fraud. And new safety regulations for hoverboards. Details coming up on WKYT News at 4.
It's the greatest 72 hours in furniture buying history. It's Burke Furniture's spectacular 72-hour sale with everything in our store on sale for 72 hours. It's Burke Furniture's spectacular 72-hour sale.
Everyone wants to be energy smart, but sometimes we need a little reminder. With Simple Saver, you save energy and the environment, and you earn energy bill credits. So take the hint. Just call or sign up online, and we'll do all the work. Simple Saver, because being energy smart pays. A message from Kentucky's Touchstone Energy Cooperatives.
I'm Alex Trebek. If you're age 50 to 85, I have an important message about security. Write down the number on your screen so you can call when I finish. The lock I want to talk to you about isn't the one on your door. This is a lock for your life insurance, a rate lock that guarantees your rate can never go up at any time for any reason. But be careful. Many policies you see do not have one. But you can get a lifetime rate lock through the Colonial Penn program. Call this number to learn more. This plan was designed with a rate lock for people on a fixed income who want affordable life insurance that's simple to get. Coverage options for just $9.95 a month, less than 35 cents a day. Act now, and your rate will be locked in for life. It will never increase. Guaranteed. This is lifelong coverage that can never be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Guaranteed. And your acceptance is guaranteed, with no health questions. You cannot be turned down because of your health. Call for your information kit and read about this rate lock for yourself. You'll also get a free gift with great information. Both are free, with no obligation. Don't miss out. Call for information, then decide. Read about the 30-day 100% money-back guarantee. Don't wait. Call this number now.
Call 1-800-440-4200 for your free information and a free gift. There's no obligation. That's 1-800-440-4200. Or visit us online at colonialpenn.com. That number again is 1-800-440-4200. 1-800-440-4200. Call now.
It's the greatest 72 hours in furniture buying history. It's Burke Furniture's spectacular 72-hour sale with everything in our store on sale for 72 hours. It's Burke Furniture's spectacular 72-hour sale.
Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
A big change is coming to a restaurant at Fayette Mall. That begins today's WKYT Money Watch. Abuelo's Mexican restaurant near one of the mall's entrances closed over the weekend. The restaurant's parent company says it's turning it into a new concept called Oak Springs Grill. Renovations are underway and Oak Springs Grill is expected to open in May. It'll offer burgers, steaks, and ribs, among other foods. MasterCard will soon let you buy items with your face. The credit card company is launching selfie and fingerprint technology to allow customers to make online purchases. It'll be available on its app in a few months. The company will be able to tell it's a legitimate selfie instead of a previously taken photo by requiring users to blink while shooting the photo. Move over like button. You've got some competition on Facebook. Facebook has announced they're expanding the user's ability to react to something on their news feed. The social networking site used to only have a thumbs up button if you wanted to like something. Now, if you hover your mouse arrow over the thumbs up button, you can choose from like, love, haha, wow, sad, or angry. The hoverboard or self-balancing scooter was a popular holiday gift last year, but the Consumer Product Safety Commission says it's responsible for more than 50 reported fires since December. The commission is now telling manufacturers to raise their safety standards immediately. Vladimir Duthers reports.
This holiday season's hot toy is being linked to dozens of fires in 24 states since December, resulting in millions of dollars in property damage. This home in Nashville was destroyed by fire last month, and this family's Christmas celebration was ruined.
The toy was sitting here on the floor, and it just blew up, and sparks and fire started coming from the toy.
On Thursday, the Consumer Product Safety Commission issued newly updated voluntary safety standards to manufacturers, retailers, and importers. It says boards that do not comply pose an unreasonable risk of fire to consumers, who risk serious injury or death if their hoverboards ignite and burn.
This is really a shot across the bow from the Consumer Product Safety Commission saying that if you are bringing product in and you're not meeting these standards, we're going to consider them defective.
The fires appear to stem from excess heat generated by the board's lithium batteries.
You can clearly look at this device and see that the fire started inside the device.
One of the manufacturers the CPSC is actively investigating is also one of the biggest, Swagway, which has been hit with a class action complaint in December over an alleged fire.
Recalls are inevitable. It will happen.
On Sunday, Swagway told CBS News its products have always met international safety standards using industry-approved materials. In a statement, Swagway says it is in support of complying with the new guidelines set forth by the CPSC.
Vladimir Jutiet, CBS News, New York.
Swagway says no hoverboards meet the new updated safety standards right now, but the company says it's come up with the technology to meet the standards. A blast from the past could be making a comeback. After the record came the cassette in 1962, followed by the CD and then the iPod. But there's been a renewed appreciation for the humble cassette tape, and retail stores geared toward millennials are stocking cassettes and tape players on their shelves. Artists such as Justin Bieber and The Weeknd have released their most recent albums on cassette.
From the dress to the venue to the hair and makeup, they've got you covered. It's all part of Joyful Day giveaway. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about to explain at Twirl today.
Well, from 60s and thunderstorms to snow and freezing, we've got you covered as well in the wonderful world of weather. We're tracking a big temperature drop up next.
To play on the floor at Rupp is special. To do it to bring awareness for a fellow firefighter makes it even more significant.
These guys are taking time away from their families and covering my shifts when I'm supposed to be there.
WKYT goes to Chicago to talk with a Lexington fireman battling cancer.
You can't just sit up here and be miserable. We're up here to beat this thing.
Hear his message of determination in the biggest fight of his life.
That's kind of what being a fireman is. You go into a chaotic situation and you bring it to order.
A Fireman's Fight, Thursday at 6 on WKYT.
We've just made the biggest laundry buyout in our 70-year history. Now get a buyout LG or Whirlpool washer and dryer and save up to 30%. 24 months, 0 interest. And we service what we sell. Another reason why
nobody beats P-Rats.
Torture of an elderly woman in a nursing home.
Her grandmother was being abused. Nationwide, about 1 in 3 homes have been cited for abuse.
Nursing home abuse happens daily, and our loved ones need protection. If you or someone you love has experienced nursing home abuse, call 800-800-4600. If your loved one has suffered from malnutrition, dehydration, broken bones, or bed sores, don't wait. Call Hughes and Coleman. Call 800-800-4600. You need to act now.
Attention! Green's Toyota of Lexington is having a sale so big it can only happen every 4 years. Green's Leap Year Sales Event this weekend. Save up to $5,000 off MSRP on new Toyotas with our Green Saver coupon. Special APR offers available, including 0% APR on our most popular models. And get up to $2,000 customer cash on 13 different models. A Leap Year Sales Event. Only at Kentucky's #1 Toyota dealer 4 years running. Green's Toyota.
Great people, great cars. Think Greens.
My name is Bob DeArmond. I've had irregular heartbeat since 2007.
In 2013, Bob took part in a clinical research trial where a cardiac ablation procedure corrected his atrial fibrillation or irregular heartbeat. As the nation's first hospital to receive AFib accreditation, our specialists help patients like Bob live healthier lives.
I feel very, very blessed, and I lead a normal, active life.
Sups Furniture and Oriental Rugs is having the big Leap Year Sale Friday through Monday with 30 to 50% off store-wide. Sups has a special on Lazy Boy recliners. Save $367, only $384. Save 44% on a 3-piece bedroom set, only $1744. You can be sleeping on a Tempur-Pedic queen set for $36 a month, interest-free, or receive a $300 Sups gift certificate. Look, Vito is getting ready for the Leap Year Sale at Sups Furniture and Oriental Rugs, Nicholasville Road and Main Street, Georgetown.
Buy one, get one free. Buy one, get one free. We make it easy to save on the area's largest selection of buy one, get one free recliners, starting at just $299. Special financing? Of course. Just another reason why
nobody beats P-Rats.
Get WKYT news and weather updates on Mix 94.5.
A super windy day across the Bluegrass State. Anytime you get the big wind gusts like what we're seeing out there now, 40 to 50 miles an hour a little earlier, you're going to get some big temperature changes. 58, 59 eastern Kentucky, still 50 into Moorhead and Mount Sterling. Now comes the cold air. Earlier today, we were 60 across most of central Kentucky. The 30s are getting ready to take over, and those winds are howling out there. Don't even have to show you a wind map. All I have to do is show you this live sky cam from on top of the station, looking out over Hamburg Pavilion, and it is just dancing and dancing and dancing. And if anything, it's calmed down a little bit. Shows you how windy it has been. Defender Radar Network, showers, thunderstorms, eastern Kentucky. That's with the colder air that is working on into town. It's dry across Lexington, Georgetown, Nicholasville. A little shower action for Sells and West. That'll change up for the entire area. Some rains begin to filter back into town, and right on the back edge of those rains, we're seeing snows breaking out into parts of western Kentucky and southern sections of Indiana as temperatures continue to drop around this big area of low pressure. Severe weather yesterday across the Gulf of Mexico. Today it's into the Carolinas, heading toward our nation's capital. This is a blizzard on the backside of this storm into parts of Illinois, Indiana, heading into Michigan, where some areas will get better than a foot of snow. We're kind of sandwiched in between all of that. That means we rely on a northwesterly wind to pull down moisture, with temperatures tonight right around freezing and hanging in the 30s all day long tomorrow. Anywhere from a coating to maybe an inch or two is a possibility where you live. Maybe a little higher amount across far southeastern Kentucky. A lot of this, though, tonight and tomorrow will be on the grassy surfaces, the rooftops, the car tops, those elevated surfaces. The ground, we were in the 70s a few days ago. It's pretty warm as of now, so a lot of melting will initially take place. Look at a couple of computer model forecasts. This, known as the GFS, a general inch or two into many areas. The new NAM is in, and it looks a lot like the GFS with a general inch or so into much of the area. And again, a lot of melting will take place. This isn't a big snowstorm around here by any means. It's just a wicked period of weather, considering we were 60 degrees earlier. Here's the wraparound tonight into tomorrow morning, and that is snow. Most areas upper 20s to low 30s. Through the day tomorrow, we're likely to stay in the 30s. I think the models are a little too optimistic with some of those afternoon temperatures tomorrow. Northwesterly winds around here, boy, it's tough to get in on some upper 30s. I think we keep the flakes flying right on into Friday. Friday's a cold day as well, but once we get out of that, I have some better weather that blows in for the upcoming weekend. So snow is likely tomorrow at 34 degrees. Again, a slushy snowfall tomorrow morning. Can we get some cancellations and delays? Yes. Does that mean they're going to be widespread? No. So good advice tonight. Do the homework just to be on the safe side. You should be doing it anyway, right, kids? 50 degrees on Saturday, 60 Sunday before another cold front moves in on Monday. Right now, let's get a check on a windy afternoon commute with Officer Don.
Right now, we're dealing with no collisions. We cleared the last problem we had on Tates Creek Road just past the Lansdowne shops a few minutes ago. So looking at the live view of Lexington real-time traffic, you can see we're okay on the Circle and the interstate. No major issues. As far as drive times are concerned, at the moment, holding our own to Nicholasville, also to Mount Sterling, Paris, Pike looks okay both directions, and on into Clark County on 64. Now back to the studio.
Thank you, Officer Don. A couple will get their dream wedding, all thanks to the Joyful Day giveaway. Deanne Stevens is out and about today at Twirl in Lexington to tell us about it. Hi, Deanne.
Good afternoon, guys. We are here at Twirl, this beautiful little bridal boutique located right in Chevy Chase. And they have the coolest thing going on. It's called a Joyful Day giveaway. And perfect because we are headed into wedding season. Liz and Ty are with us from Twirl. And what is a Joyful Day giveaway?
The Joyful Day giveaway is an entire wedding giveaway. So the heart of it is we know that wedding can be stressful. It can be...
And expensive.
And expensive, yes,
right.
Exactly. So our heart behind it is we want to come alongside a couple and give them a wedding for free. We want it to be something that couldn't otherwise happen for them, whether that be a health diagnosis that's preventing it, a financial burden, military deployment, whatever it may be that's making this a struggle for them. Hardship happens, and we want to give them a wedding because love is worthy of celebrating.
So here's what I love is you guys have gathered folks throughout our community to make this happen. Ty, tell us who all's in on this.
We have 14 different vendors that have jumped on board with no questions asked. We told them the idea, and really they just came along and wanted to help this couple, whoever they may be. And we really want to hear all the stories and make this happen for them. It's an entire wedding.
So how does it work? Yeah.
It's an entire wedding. The wedding will take place at the Livery downtown, and everything is covered. We have the dress, we have the catering, we have photographer, videographer, invitations. Everything you can think of is going to be included. Hair and makeup. We're just going to make them feel like the most special couple in the whole world.
Okay, so how do they win?
They go to our website, joyfuldaygiveaway.com, and they tell us their story. You can nominate someone if you know of a couple that is deserving of this and they wouldn't normally think of themselves to nominate. So they can nominate themselves, tell us their story. We want as many details as possible to make them stand out from the rest of the entries. They've been pouring in already.
It is that simple. A free wedding? What? Check it out at joyfuldaygiveaway.com. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about at Twirl. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Deanne. Children may learn more if they're moving. What new research finds in better living? And McDonald's is teaming up with a yogurt maker for its parfaits and smoothies. That's next on WKYT News at 4. Tonight's Powerball jackpot is $236 million, and Friday night's Mega Millions jackpot is $125 million.
Clients come into the office. The government has said, no, I don't believe you. You're not disabled.
The major problem with Social Security disability is that most people who sign up are denied at the initial level. If your claim's denied, don't give up. Call us immediately. We'll appeal your case.
We can do an effective job of representing you that will get you the benefits that you deserve.
Call Morgan, Collins, and Yeast, 1-800-55-WILDCAT.
Important message for women and men ages 50 to 85. Please write down this toll-free number now. Right now in areas like yours, people are receiving this free information kit for guaranteed acceptance life insurance with a rate lock through the Colonial Penn program. If you are on a fixed income or concerned about rising prices, learn about affordable whole life insurance with a lifetime rate lock that guarantees your rate can never increase for any reason. If you did not receive your information or if you misplaced it, call this number now and we'll rush it to you. Your acceptance is guaranteed with no health questions. Please stand by to learn more.
I'm Alex Trebek, and the announcement you just heard is for a popular and affordable life insurance plan with a rate lock guarantee. That means your rate is locked in for life and can never increase. Did you get your free information kit in the mail? If not, please call this toll-free number now. In the last month alone, thousands have called about this plan with the rate lock guarantee through the Colonial Penn program. And here's why. This plan is affordable, with coverage options for just $9.95 a month. That's less than 35 cents a day. Your rate is locked in and can never go up. And your acceptance is guaranteed. You cannot be turned down because of your health. See how much coverage you can get for just $9.95 a month. Call now for your free information kit. Don't wait. Call today.
Call 1-800-909-4488 for your free information and free gift. There's no obligation. That's 1-800-909-4488. Or visit us online at colonialpenn.com. That number again is 1-800-909-4488. Call now.
It's time for Better Living, health education and consumer news that impacts your life. There may be a genetic link between migraine and tension-type headaches and irritable bowel syndrome, or IBS. That's according to a new study by the American Academy of Neurology. More than half of patients with migraines and more than a fourth with tension headaches also had IBS. Researchers say patients with IBS and headaches had at least one gene that differed from healthy people. New research shows children with asthma who are sent home after a hospital visit with their prescription medications make fewer visits back to the emergency room. Boston University created a program that makes sure asthma medications are delivered to hospital rooms after learning almost 40% of pediatric patients weren't able to get their prescriptions filled in a timely manner. Students who do physical activities while learning math and spelling score higher on tests compared to students sitting at desks. The study in pediatrics looked at nearly 500 second and third graders and found the score increases in the active group were equal to 4 months of learning. McDonald's is teaming up with the Greek yogurt maker Chobani. The fast food chain is trying to transform into what it calls a modern progressive burger company. The Chobani yogurt will be used in parfaits and smoothies. McDonald's says it's too soon to say if the yogurt offerings will expand beyond the current regional test. McDonald's in Southern California is also testing 2 breakfast bowls. One is made with eggs, turkey, spinach, and kale. For more health, education, and consumer news, go to WKYT.com and click on Better Living. The news is just getting started. Here are Sam, Dick, and Amber Philpott with what's ahead at 4:30.